Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening, and a big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo for our artwork. Well, everybody, it is the last day of 2024. Hopefully you had a great year. We hope that you did. We know that we had an excellent year creating new episodes for you to listen to, some Season 10, some Season 11. I think we even had some Season 9 in there. So hopefully you enjoyed listening, and we certainly enjoyed you listening. Check out our link tree for all the links to all the things like our merch and also giving us topic suggestions. And hey, give us a rating or review on iTunes or wherever you listen to the podcast. We would certainly appreciate it. Thanks so much, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the final Drunkard's Walk of 2024. That's right. The old man winter and the old 2024 old man is about to turn into baby new year. Okay, it's fallen apart. I know there was like an old man, father time. Is that what I'm going for, Matt? Help me out here.
I have no idea what you're going for. It's very confusing.
You remember the old Rankin Bass cartoons where like baby new year would be like a baby wearing a sash and maybe a top hat?
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Like,
yeah, I remember
and then like the preceding year would be like an old man with a beard and a cane.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And so we were supposed to believe that over a year, a baby grew into an old man? That seems pretty ridiculous to me.
Well, and the sad part is, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but that old man dies at the stroke of midnight.
No.
He lives 1 year, and then presumably, like any natural creature, there would be some variability in the lifespan, right? You know, you got some that live longer, some that no. For Father Time or Mr. 2024 or whatever his name is, like he is murdered 365 days in.
I think, though, there is some variability because like 2020 felt like it lasted about 12 and a half years. So I think there's a chance that some of these are a little bit longer than we think they are, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like we think it's 365 or 366 days on a leap year. But I think maybe they're sneaking in some extra days here and there, just throwing them in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the old, my feelings are more important than the actual scientific measurements of a thing, which, as we know, is not a fruitful path for human beings to tread.
Oh, but so many are doing it these days. I just want to jump on the bandwagon.
Well, you can only ignore facts for so long before they hit you in the face.
Is that right?
That's a very common saying around these parts.
Is that? I've never heard that one before, but I guess if it's
you're not around these parts, yeah.
No, that's true. I'm not. I'm here, but celebrating. You're right. The end of a year. It is New Year's Eve, 2024. We're gonna jump into 2025, and boy, what an exciting year it's gonna be. I'm just only looking forward to things that are happening in 2025, Jethro.
Oh yeah, like it mostly it ending. That's going to be really fun.
That'll be fun. About a year from now, I would guess.
Exactly. That's how historically it's gone.
It is. And also, you know what else has happened historically, Jethro?
What?
We've walked from one Wikipedia page to another using only the links on the pages.
Oh my gosh. I was worried that you weren't going to be able to sneak in a description of our podcast.
Not a problem, man.
You did it.
I did do it, and we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again for this episode. This is the 4th episode of Season 11, the last episode of 2024. So excited am I because, Jethro, a lot of times we know where we're starting, right? We know where we're going to jump off and go from. But
I would say every time we know where we're starting.
Yeah, okay. All right. If you want to put facts back on it again, sure, every time. But you know what we don't know? We don't know where we're going, Jethro.
Oh, it's so true. We never do.
But we know where we've been. And the way that we find out where we're going is we invite on a wonderful guest to join us. And we are very lucky, folks, to have with us one of our Drunkard's Walk listeners. It's none other than Aaron Hertz. Aaron, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate, first of all, we appreciate you giving us a suggestion. And then we appreciate you setting aside time to come on and actually record with us. It's fantastic. It's New Year's Eve. I'm assuming you're in the middle of a party of some kind celebrating the end of the year. Is that what's going on at your house right now?
Oh yeah. The fireworks are going off right behind me.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you using the noise dampening and everything. That's really helpful. Yeah, because we're recording this, folks. I don't know if you know this. We're recording this at 11:45 on New Year's Eve. So it's really inconvenient for Aaron, but we have nothing else to do. So we were just like, what the heck? We'll just do it. But so really, we do appreciate it, Aaron. Now, tell us a little bit about. We don't know you. We've never met before. So is this your card? No. Tell me how did you find Drunkard's Walk? How did you learn about our podcast?
So I heard you guys on Escape This Podcast. I'm a huge fan of theirs. I've been listening for years, and your concept sounded really interesting. So I've been going through your back catalog and really just loving the show. So I figured I'd jump in and give you all a suggestion.
Oh,
Wonderful.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. You are let's see, this is the 4th episode. You're the 4th person to tell us that you found us through Escape This Podcast. So once again, Jethro, we have to send them like a fruit basket or something. They did us such a solid by letting us come on, and they were on our show a couple of times as well, which is awesome too. And they plugged us. So they have such a great show. Don't you think, Aaron? Isn't that just such a fun show?
It is. It's magic.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, are you a fan of escape rooms? Do you do escape rooms like in person too?
Oh, done probably a dozen. So not huge by the standards of Escape This Podcast fans, maybe, but a lot.
But you do enjoy them. You do enjoy them. Now, go ahead.
We do them with my 10-year-old daughter. She's a big fan too. So that's always fun.
Fantastic. Getting the next generation involved is always a great thing. I love to see that. So where are you located? We've had some folks from all over the world so far. Where are you at now?
So I'm in Laurel, Maryland. We're halfway in between Baltimore and DC.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So I know.
Not too far. I know this is a Pittsburgh show. I went to school at Carnegie Mellon, so I know Pittsburgh fairly well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. So have you done escape rooms in the DC area?
Yeah, it's not a great escape room scene, at least up here in Maryland. We're sort of in the suburbs. So there's a few around. There's some better ones down in DC.
Yeah, absolutely. So I lived in DC for 12 years myself, and so I'm familiar with Laurel and that whole area. But I agree. There are a couple of good ones around. I'm trying to think of the best one that I did in DC, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know that there are a couple of real good ones to definitely check out around there. So that's so cool. That you listen to that show, that you found us, that you like the concept. We really appreciate that, certainly. And do you have any favorites? Do you have any favorite destinations that you remember us going to, or am I getting too specific here?
So just listen to your Return to the Flatwoods Monster that you put out a couple weeks ago. That was so I think I've heard 3 shows touching that one. That's always memorable. My daughter was asking me, what are they going to? Are they going to aliens? Are they going to Bigfoot? I don't quite understand. So
yeah, we didn't either. So that's we were in the same boat for sure. Awesome. Well, very, very cool. And you brought with you a suggestion for us tonight for us to travel off to, correct?
I did.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about what that is.
So it is, I think, the perfect suggestion for New Year's Eve here. It is the year 2038 problem. So do you remember 25 years ago, we were all panicking that nuclear reactors were going to melt down and planes were going to fall out of the sky because computers didn't know what date it was?
Yeah, I recall that, yeah.
So turns out that's going to happen again in about 13 years.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it going to do that?
Well, so it has to do with the way computers actually keep time. So everybody was worried in Y2K that computers were going to not know what a year was because they were only using 2 digits to store the year.
Right.
But that's not really how computers store time. The most common way that computers store time is called epoch time or Unix time, where they store the number of seconds since January 1st, 1970. That was picked by some engineers back at Bell Labs back in the early 70s. I figured that was a good, easy date to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So they just count up, 1 second at a time from there. And I'm a computer security researcher. So one of the things I like is places where computers don't behave the way we expect them to. And one place where they really don't is how they represent numbers. So when we think of numbers, we think they're just infinitely long and go on forever. But computers have to allocate a certain amount of space for each number that they're storing. And it turns out back then they said, well, we're going to use 32 bits to represent how long a time span is.
Okay.
And with that, you can represent 2 billion and change numbers. Turns out that's going to run out on January 19th, 2038. We're going to hit the 2 billion and change seconds. So computers will go from January 19th, 2038 to December 13th, 1901.
Why December 13th, 1901?
Because that is negative 2 billion and some odd seconds from January 1st, 1970.
Okay. Now
so it rolls over from. Sorry, go ahead.
So I worked for WGN Television back around in the late 90s, and I was specifically brought on as a temp to help with their Y2K project. So I spent probably 2 years working there, and the whole thing turned out to be a big nothing burger. Now, is this a problem that is only going to exist on systems that are using technology from the 70s? Like, do newer programs and systems have better ways of dealing with this time that aren't impacted by this? Or
yeah, so the solution that everyone's come around to is we're just going to use 64-bit numbers instead of 32-bit numbers.
Okay.
With a 64-bit number, you can go out to basically the end of the universe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's good.
But there's still a lot of 32-bit programs that use 32-bit numbers. So like Windows, if it's running on an older computer, is still going to be using 32-bit timestamps. Some older Android phones are still using 32-bit timestamps, things like that. So I expect there will still be code around.
Yeah, and presumably we'll find out in 2038 when planes start dropping from the sky who's using 32-bit rather than 64-bit on these things.
Well,
exactly.
But, I mean, clearly they're aware of this, so they must be doing something to deal with it, right? I mean, they're working on it now, right?
Oh, absolutely. So modern computers and modern cell phones and everything like that is now using 64-bit timestamps. So it's only older code, but people really only started thinking about it maybe 5 years ago. So anything that's older than about that, you still run into chances of having bugs.
That's crazy because they've known since they started this exactly when it would run out. Like, it's not like time changed in some way or another. But I guess that's the human mentality, right? It's so far in the future. It's more than 5 years away. So
I'll be retired. It's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, right. Why worry about it? Oh my god.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So this is a phenomenon that has a Wikipedia page. Is that right?
It does.
Okay. And is the title of the page the year 2038 problem, or just year 2038 problem?
Just year 2038 problem.
Okay, year 2038 problem. All right. Wow. Well, this is I don't know, like, I'm a little worried about it, but I'm not super terrified. It sounds like most of the stuff I have is going to be okay, and I just won't be on like an old commuter plane or something like that on that day.
I'll cancel my Braniff Airlines trip to Raleigh, Durham.
That's a good choice, because who knows what's going to happen with that. Well, that's crazy. Yeah, I had no idea. I've never heard of this. I didn't know that there was going to be another one of these. I assumed after Y2K, I was never going to have to worry about it because the next time it would be Y3K, and I'm not going to be around for that. So who cares?
I'm pretty sure that this 2038 problem is going to be the last time computers pose a threat to humanity again. I mean, once we get this one solved, we're all good. Yeah, that'll be
perfect. That's perfect. Actually, are we going to make it to 2038 with computers, or is AI going to like take over and either make this happen sooner or completely take care of the problem for us? I don't know. What's your thought on that, Aaron?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Everything is changing so fast with that. I couldn't even speculate.
Oh, wow. That's such a reasonable and measured answer. That's crazy. We're not used to that here. Jethro, is AI going to take over, or what's going to happen here?
Oh, I'm totally uninformed, but that's not going to keep me from speculating, man. I think that AI is going to have us all enslaved by then. So we shouldn't worry about it, because we'll be living in underground caves mining, rare metals to keep the AI fed.
Got it. Okay. So you're going, there's like five possible outcomes. Have you read about this? The 5 possible outcomes of AI? No, you're not. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's just one.
No. Look it up. Look up the 5. There's a very well-known computer scientist who I am not very familiar with, who came up with the 5 possible outcomes, and like one of them is the singularity, one of them is something about like a benevolence, and like I don't remember them all, so I'm sorry I even brought it up because what a terrible storyteller I am. But it's out there, so folks, look it up, and you'll see what the 5 possible outcomes of AI are. And you can actually look up the betting odds in Vegas on each of them as well, which is upsetting because Vegas is usually right when it comes to those things. But it wasn't. I think the one that was trending was not the worst one, so we'll probably be okay.
The one that's winning is everybody becomes addicted to Toblerones.
There we go. Reason. Yeah, and I think that's going to be okay. I think we're close to that anyway, so I think we're going to reach that. Aaron, this is such a cool suggestion. I can't wait to try to find this. We are trying to get there from a video game, so it may not be too bad of a walk. We'll be going there from Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. Are you familiar with that game at all, Aaron?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so we had not either. It was a game for the PlayStation 1 that was apparently originally created to be a Yoshi game, and Nintendo said no thank you, and so they like slightly redesigned the character, and it looks a lot like Yoshi if you take a look at him. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how long it takes us to get there. Aaron, before we let you go though, I got to ask you. Normally, as we are walking along, we'll have a little drink as we go. Are you drinking anything this evening?
I am. I figured since I was talking about the Unix Epic, I'd get a glass of Epic Rye from the Baltimore Spirits Company here.
Nice.
I love it. So it's distilled local. It's distilled in Baltimore, you say?
Yep, distilled locally here in Baltimore. Maryland has a long history of rye whiskey.
Interesting.
Damn.
I'm not a big fan of rye. And I have some things that I could say about Baltimore because I'm from Pittsburgh, and so we're supposed to be like enemies of some kind. So, but I'm not going to. In fact, the only thing I'll say disparaging is, Aaron, did you grow up in Maryland?
No.
Okay.
I grew up in North Carolina.
Okay. Where did you learn to drive?
North Carolina.
Okay, good. Because I am not a fan of Maryland drivers. That is my biggest complaint with Maryland is the driving there. I think that's
an opinion universally held.
Okay, good. Because I don't know what's going on there, man. But it feels like they learned at a different school than everyone else.
Oh man, almost got run off the road this afternoon.
It feels like every city has its signature terrible driving move.
No, this is the whole state. It really is. It's for some reason you get a Maryland plate on your car, and then I don't know. Some people just forget how to drive. But I'm sure that didn't happen to you, Aaron. You seem like a very well measured and well thought out person. So I'm sure that you're making the right choices when you're driving. But Jethro, how about you? Are you drinking anything local? Are you drinking a Michigan rye?
No, I'm not. My bourbon comes from Kentucky, where many of them do. It is a larceny bourbon because I was in a cheap mood when I was passing through the bourbon aisle at the local grocery store.
I mean, if you're going cheap bourbon, that's the best one to get as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah.
What about you, sir? Are you having a bevy?
I am. What I'm having is out of this world, actually, Jethro. You'll recall that last week I had the Captain's Table Private Reserve, and tonight I've got the United Federation of Planets Alpha Quadrant Reserve Bourbon that has this amazing metal United Federation of Planets logo on it. It comes in a bottle that looks like it should be in the bar at Star Trek, like it should be in 10 Forward. I love this. It's awesome. I got it as a birthday present. I was so thrilled to get it. And it's also quite tasty, a quite tasty bourbon. So there you go. That's what I'm drinking tonight.
I would call you a nerd, but at this point, that should be obvious to all of our listeners.
That train has sailed, my friend.
So
well, Aaron, again, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your time. A happy New Year to you and to your family. I hope that 2025 is a good one for you, and I hope you get to do some more escape rooms. And I hope that all of this 2038 stuff doesn't bother you in 13 years.
Thank you so much. You guys enjoy your walk.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Take
Happy
care.
New Year.
Cheers. All right, Jethro. We are off.
We are indeed.
To the year 2038 problem from Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. So I guess we got to make some predictions here. Write down some numbers.
Yeah.
That we think will be the number of steps on our walk here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write down a number.
I have also written down a number.
Perfect. Then I think we're ready to go.
All right.
So let's do it, man. Let's go to Croc Legend of the Gobbos, which for you all, I just mentioned a moment ago that it was a 1997 platform video game. I said it was on the PlayStation. It was also on the Sega Saturn. It was on Windows. There's a similarly named Game Boy Color game called Croc from 2000, but I guess that's a different game.
Mm-hmm. So I have the Wikipedia like donation pop-up thing has shown up at the top of the screen. But I also noticed in the upper right-hand corner of the page, there is a little green circle with a plus. And when you hover over it, the information pop-up says, "This is a good article. Click here for more information." And I don't recall having seen that before. So
I don't recall seeing that either. I wonder what happens if you click it, it takes you to Wikipedia, good articles, and it tells you what good articles are.
There you go.
There's a whole set of good article criteria.
And apparently, of these 6.9 million articles on Wikipedia, 40,587 are categorized as good articles, about 0.59%.
Sorry, how many did you say?
40,587.
That's so crazy because when I opened the page, it says there are 40,594 that are categorized as good.
Well, I'm sure that number is changing because the wiki editors are constantly updating what is good and what is not good, much like Santa Claus. And so I'm sure
checking the list twice.
I'm sure that number changes periodically.
I guess
now, Matt,
it's just crazy.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Here we are. You and I have both clicked on a link out of this page. Does that mean
I right-clicked and opened it in a separate tab?
Okay, all right. So we're not counting that as a click.
No. We just wanted to see what that was about. That doesn't count as a link on our journey here. But let's get moving on our journey, man. We've got to get to this thing. We are in a video game and we're trying to get to a computer problem. So
this is going to be super short.
It's got to be super easy. It's on this page. Croc had some real problems in 2038.
This is going from the signal intelligence capability of the Israeli army to a board game based on a World War II battle. It's like the dots are very clear.
Super fast. So, I'm looking through the page. I do see, first of all, speaking of World War II, there is a link to Nazi and to Joseph Goebbels on this page.
What?
Yeah, an intern with a background in history informed the team that Goebbels was the last name of a Nazi minister of propaganda. The team opted to avoid associating a children's game with a controversial historical figure.
Was it originally going to be Croc Legend of the Goebbels?
So it's spelled Goebbels, but I'm guessing they were pronouncing it Goebbels, right? And that's what it was, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's Croc Legend of the Goebbels.
Oh my God.
I love it. It's amazing.
Cannot believe that they needed somebody like, yikes.
Yeah. Well,
talk about your PR nightmares.
Yeah, that would have been, it probably wouldn't have done as well as it did, which I still wouldn't have heard of it. Or maybe I would have heard of it because of the controversy. So maybe it would have been, better for them. It's tough to say. So far, I will tell you that I'm not actually seeing anything that like jumps out at me as a way to go other than Windows.
Oh, I saw Windows, and I think Windows is a good choice. Also, when you scroll down a little bit further, there is Basic and MS-DOS, which are both linked there.
Yeah, I don't know. Those ones don't feel as good to me because I don't feel like Basic or MS-DOS would have had. I'm thinking about trying to find something that would have had a problem with Y2K, right? And then jumping off of that, because that feels like the way to go versus just computers in general.
No, I'm down. Well, I'm thinking of like operating systems and languages and the inherent problems that are waiting for us all, depending on the particular situation. But yeah, Windows seems like a no-brainer option for me, so I'm on board.
You think that that's the way to go? I'm trying to look and see if there's other things. There's obviously a lot of games mentioned on here. There's game designers mentioned on here. There's some studios. I see a portal to 1990s, which that would probably have Y2K on it, but it's a portal, so I don't even know what that would actually take us into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there are software developers and all sorts of things on that. I guess Windows is the best bet.
I love it.
Yeah, you think that's the way to go?
Let's do it. Why should we stage a fight when the answer is so obvious?
I guess. Well, I'm not sure that it's the right answer, but we'll give it a try. I mean, yeah, let's do it.
Windows
Let's go to Windows.
Is.
Oh, you know what I just saw as we jumped off that page was Extra Life was actually highlighted. I wonder if that would have been a good one because, we got an extra life when we fixed all the stuff in Y2K, and now we're going to lose another one in 2038.
Wow. Well, that is a terribly long stretch.
No, would have been there.
So Windows, the Microsoft Windows article is not a good article. There's no little green icon up there.
It is not.
This article, however, is semi-protected due to vandalism. So there's a little lock icon.
Of course it is.
I guess people who've got beef.
Of course it is.
With the good people at Microsoft.
I see that there is a link to operating systems in general on here.
Okay.
Which might be a way to go. I mean, Y2K might be on this page, right?
It's true. It might.
Was Windows affected by Y2K? Was that I see 32-bit applications or 30, which takes you to 32-bit computing.
Okay, that's a promising possibility.
So yeah, I kind of like that.
Where are you seeing that?
That is under Windows 9X or 90X.
Oh, wow. You really zoomed far down the page.
Did I? Not that far down.
Wait. Sorry. I was at Windows 3X, which apparently the next paragraph is Windows 9X. So what happened to Windows 4 through 8X?
Well, it was, remember, this 9X is like 95, 98. That type of thing, and it went from essentially 3.1. I guess they had a 3.2, but nobody really had it. They had Windows 3.1. The next thing was Windows 95. So you don't remember all that? You don't remember that whole thing?
I was too busy going to parties and dating girls and stuff.
Okay, sure you were. Sure you were, Jethro. Sure you were. But yeah, there's a link to 32-bit. There's actually a bunch of links to 32-bit on here, so that may be a path.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's explicitly a problem with 32-bit encoding of time, he did mention Unix, so I was wondering if there's a
he did
possible linkage there.
Yeah, did you see a link to Unix?
I have not yet, but I'm continuing to scroll. It's a rather sizable page. It's almost like the people who provide information on Wikipedia are nerds who know about computing.
That is certainly a possibility. I don't want to say for sure because I've not met them. I haven't provided any information to Wikipedia. So,
I will say this page is dry as hell. This is a incredibly tedious, boring thing. So Linus Torvalds is here, who is the creator of Linux.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is not Unix, but it's I think in the same kind of family-ish type of thing.
They're related in some way, aren't they?
I mean, sure.
Okay. I see that. I see we know just about as much of this.
If my brother listened to this podcast, he'd be screaming at me because he knows all this stuff.
Well, fortunately, he doesn't, so we don't have to worry about that.
Exactly. Take that, Mick.
I do see security vulnerability, which links to vulnerabilities, which are flaws in a computer system that weaken the overall security of the system. Do you feel that would be a thing?
That's a possibility. I do see a link to... Oh, wait a minute. I see a link to Unix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too.
So
me too.
Under alternative implementations, there is a link to Unix there. And if this is a specific issue with how Unix encodes dates, I think that is the most promising of our options.
Over 32-bit, which is specifically the amount of space that this the time is being used to take up.
Yes, I think both are good, but I would say Unix gets me more excited.
Oh,
I'm happy to fight with you. I'm happy to fight with you about it if you'd like.
I'm just not sure so he mentioned Unix, but remind me what he said about it, because I thought he was saying like that it was somebody that was developing it. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. There's actually a Windows clock app link.
What?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Down in the purple boxes. You go to Microsoft Windows Components, and then under one of them is App, and Clock is one of the things that you can go to.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that's actual timekeeping on a computer.
Yeah, but a clock and a calendar are two different things. Like if the clock is just the clock app that says, here's the time, it's, 8:39 p.m., that rolls over every 24 hours. It's the calendar that is the problem because it's not going to go past 2038.
That's interesting. I was about to argue with you on that, and then I thought, well, maybe that's right. Maybe it doesn't know that it's 11:15 on Thursday. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, Jethro, we missed New Year's.
Oh no! Happy New Year's!
It happened like 15 minutes ago. Well, Happy New Year, an old acquaintance, you're forgotten.
Oh, Bobby Burns.
Oh man, let's have some champagne.
Yeah, it seems foolish that we made a big deal about Happy New Year when the listener is only going to hear this after the New Year and not on New Year's Eve. So
no, they are hearing it on New Year's Eve. It came out on New Year's Eve.
But we're recording it on New Year's Eve.
Oh no, Jethro, we record the same day that it comes out. This is live. Did you not realize that? We're recording it live.
So we're not really recording it. We're live broadcasting it.
No, well, we're recording it live so people can also listen to it later.
Anywho,
maybe we should go to Champagne, a television and cinema advertisement launched by Microsoft and created by Bartle Bogle Hegarty. Since it's New Year's.
I prefer wine, which is the free and open source compatibility thing that has the link to Unix in it. So
I see. So you really think Unix over 32-bit and over Clock?
I do.
Unix is the way to go.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
All right. But I'm concerned that it's not going to be in there, but I don't know. I mean, it's probably a large page, right?
Where's the link to 32-bit?
It's way up, like up near the top. It's in Windows 90X. And it may even be before that, but that's where I saw it the first time.
Okay.
Because it's linked a couple times on the page.
Is it now?
It is. If you go to Windows 90 or 9X section, it's in like the second sentence. While still remaining MS-DOS based, Windows 95 introduced support for native 32-bit applications. But 32-bit applications take you to 32-bit computing.
Okay.
So right. I don't know. I mean, look, if you think that Unix is a better bet than 32-bit computing, I don't know. I don't know, because it actually mentions a clock cycle in the thing here, like when I mouse over.
Yeah, the challenge though for me, like the challenge isn't 32-bit computing per se, because there's going to be a limit on how many seconds it can count. The challenge, it sounds like, is directly related to the decision within Unix to start counting the clock on January 1st, 1970.
Right, I understand that, but it's not just Unix-based computers that are having this issue.
I thought he said that it was.
No. He said specifically older computers running older Windows computers, and he mentioned Windows specifically. He said some old Android phones still do this. So it's not. Well, I guess Android might be Unix. I don't actually know that, but
I mean, I feel like Aaron is the guy who knows this, and he's probably listening to this episode screing at us about.
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, and his daughter's probably listening and being like, "Why are they
we know nothing.
Not smart? Why aren't they smarter than they seem really dumb, Dad? Why are you listening?" I feel bad.
And that, by the way, is our gift to you, Aaron, so that your daughter can see you as the hero that you are by listening to a couple of dumb guys fumble around Wikipedia. That's
correct. I'm gonna argue in favor of 32-bit computing. That's what I'm gonna say. Are you gonna argue in favor of Unix? Are we gonna have to?
I'm gonna argue
play rock, paper, scissors?
I'm gonna argue in favor of Unix because he explicitly mentioned it as the source of the issue.
Yeah.
That's my memory. I mean,
and my memory goes the other direction. So we should have written it down. We should have recorded what we were saying, so we could go back to listen to it. But it's impossible now. We both wanted Windows, so we can't even figure it out. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. You have won 3 out of 3 so far this season on our guesses.
So true.
So I'm gonna go with you. That's what I'm using as my determining factor here, because otherwise we're just gonna sit here in a stalemate forever.
So you are admitting that I have the superior intuitions with regards to these things, and you're yielding to my my wisdom.
Nope. Not at all.
Sounded like that. That's what it was.
That's not it. No, it's just I'm looking at a number, and it's the only number that I have available to me, so I'm using it.
Right. Feels like you're trying to couch it in a way that doesn't hurt your ego.
No.
I accept it. So
right. Unix.
Are we off to Unix then?
We're going to Unix.
All right. To Unix it is.
Here we are.
Unix is a family of multitasking, multi-user computer operating systems that derive from the original AT&T Unix, whose development started in 1969 at the Bell Labs Research Center by Ken Thompson, Dennis Ritchie, and others.
I would have expected it to be the 70s, but
no, late 60s, baby.
Yeah.
Late 60s. Bell Labs, source of all sorts of cool stuff.
Bell Labs. All right. So far, I've not seen anything, but it's a long page. I don't know if it's quite as long as the Windows page, but it is long.
And just as boring and dry, unless you're a total computer nerd.
I see some links to Unix on here.
Aren't we on the Unix page?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So there are links from Unix to Unix?
Well,
does it by chance take you to the page for recursion?
It doesn't, but it should. No, there's different Unix types of things on here, like single Unix specification and Unix 98 and Unix 03. These are the Unix links that I'm seeing. Oh my God, Jethro. Oh my God.
Oh, it sounds like you found something.
So angry.
Why are you angry? Why are you angry?
Because I went down to the C also, and I saw Plan 9 from Bell Labs. I saw Timeline of Operating Systems. I saw Unix Time. And then I saw Year 2038 Problem.
Ha ha! There it is! There it is.
Unbelievable. It's there. It's right there.
All right.
Oh, when you mouse over it, it has a moving image that's actually showing what's going to happen. This is crazy.
Fantastic. Well, we must click it.
We must click it. If you don't, you're a fool.
Yeah, no, there's an animated GIF on the page that shows the counting.
I love it. I think it's awesome that they actually show. I don't understand what I'm seeing though. Oh, I see. So it resets itself. Okay, I got it. So it's January 1st, 2038, 314. Oh, so it's going to happen at some specific time. UTC. What's UTC?
It's Greenwich Mean. It's Greenwich Mean Time, but they changed it so it didn't seem like it was English.
Okay. So what time will that be for us?
We're
it
5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It actually shows it reset itself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Folks, you got to go to this page and check this out. I really like this.
You gotta is a rather strong thing, but yeah.
I think it's very cool that they're showing what happens. The animated visual of the bug in action. So there you go. The Y2038, Y2K38, or the Y2K38 superbug, or the epoch ellipse.
Boo.
It's funny.
I'm gonna go with the year 2038 problem.
I think it's funny. All right. Well, we did it though, Jethro. We found it. We've done year 2038 problem.
Here we are.
We have made it. And
look at us.
Is this record time? Is 3 our shortest?
Maybe. It seems like it's unlikely that we would have gotten anywhere quicker than that.
I don't know. 2, maybe. It might have been 2, but it might have been 3. So what did you guess?
What did I guess?
Yeah.
I guessed 4.
Well, Jethro, I guessed 3.
You guessed 3. Look at
that
you.
bad boy.
Oh my gosh, I should have listened to you.
I told you it was going to be super short. I told you from a video game to a computer thing.
All right,
I want to go back and see.
Now I have to go see if the 32-bit would have helped me win.
That's what I want to see. I want to see if you would have won if we had gone through 32-bit, because that would have just been, it makes the whole thing delicious irony.
All the sweeter.
Delicious. 32-bit. Oh, it takes you to, what is it? Oh, 32-bit computing. Okay. Is 2038 on here? I'm just going to do a quick Control F. 2038 is not on this page.
Okay.
That's crazy. History of video games, 64-bit computing. Yeah, it ain't on here. Jethro, you should have listened to me.
Indeed. And then presumably from here, we would have gone to Unix.
Right, because we wouldn't have found it. And I'd have been like, all right, fine, we'll do your thing. And then there you go.
I'm not even seeing Unix on here.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even look for that.
I mean, it's in the references, but it is not a... No, I guess the references are listed there, and it does take you to you can get to the Wikipedia page for Unix.
Oh, okay.
On those references.
All right. Hoof. Baby,
well, you're welcome, Matt.
Baby. Oh, yeah. I love it. And if you hadn't won the first 3 episodes, we wouldn't have followed you. I would have argued in favor of myself.
Well, very good.
Whew, thank goodness that you're smarter than I am, Jethro. And thank goodness that Aaron's smarter than both of us.
Indeed. And thank goodness that the good people at computer companies across the world are working very hard right now, presumably 14 years in advance.
Let's hope.
To solve a problem. This is going to be one of those things where like somebody writes it on a Post-it note and then he retires. And then like in 2037 on like December 26th, like somebody's going to be like, hey, remember Jerry retired a few years back? He said there was something really important we had to do before next year. You remember what that was?
But it fell, the Post-it note fell off and like is behind the radiator or whatever. Is that what you're thinking?
Exactly. Because most computer rooms are heated with radiators.
Radiator. I think it's all dusty and there's spiders.
If you want computers to work properly, you got to make sure they're nice and hot. That everybody knows.
With nice humid type of air,
moist,
right? You want
moist heat,
very moist heat. Well, this is fantastic. This was a great little walk. It was a great little journey. Thank you again to Aaron, and a happy New Year to everybody. Jethro, next week we've got a really special little gift for our listeners. You know what that is?
Oh, is it the solution to the 2038 problem?
No, unfortunately, it's not. Well, maybe it is. We'll find out because Jethro, next week we are going to be we're going to have a little live show, and it's not going to be recorded live. Well, it kind of is recorded live. We're going to be recording in front of an audience on stage. We already know who our guest is, and I guess, but you'll have to wait, listener. You'll have to wait and find out next week if you don't already know. If you don't follow our TikTok. Then you might not know who our guest already was. If you don't follow our TikTok, you should. We're at Drunkards Walk Podcast. So find us, or maybe it's just Drunkards Walk. Hold on. I don't want to send people to the wrong place. Yes, Drunkards Walk Podcast. I was right the first time. Check us out on TikTok. You'll just see me, basically. I got to start making some more TikToks, Jethro. I got to get some like other stuff in there. It's just me right now. It's boring as heck.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
It's really exciting. You should check it out. Ugh, I didn't do that right. Jethro, any advice for the new year for our listeners?
Yeah. Focus on things that are in your control and be curious about this amazing universe we live in and try to do things that help other people.
You took all the 3 good ones. What the hell?
Yeah, there's only 3 things to do.
Well, I've got no other advice then. He said all the good ones. So happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.